All right, this April 26, 2013. I'm getting ready to install a Chris Olson Chassis Works back half. I thought I'd record some of this. I got body removed from the frame. They mostly say their instructions tell you to do it on the frame or with the body on. I wanted to do frame off, so I'm doing it that way. So kind of getting a little bit behind where I started here, but I've already cut off the back half of the frame. I welded in a bar basically to keep the frame rails from bowing out. One did spring up a little bit though, so I'm going to have to kind of put that in place before I get that welded in. There's a couple little issues. I've got to add some metal. If you can see down in the frame rail there, kind of rotted out a little bit right in the wrong spot. So I'm going to cut that out, and I've made up a piece. After I cut that out, I will put this piece in, weld that into the bottom, and support that area there a lot more. So the other side, that frame there is pretty strong, but I'm still going to add a little, I'm going to add a piece in there just to make that a little bit heavier there. And on both sides, I need to do some work here. So I'm going to try to see if I can clamp that up, re-weld that, and then, I don't know, I might even add a little piece here. I'm going to see. I'm also going to add gussets later on the inside here. So try to make this thing as strong as I can when I get this done here. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm going to get ready to cut this out, and then I'll be welding a new piece back in there. Okay, I got the frame strengthened. I've added to the bottom and to the side on this here. Kind of went over the top there too with some weld just to get that yeah, like the metal was sticking up there. Had to do the same on this side. I think you can kind of see the piece I've got welded in there, and re-supported that. Also put a piece on the bottom, and I think I have it pretty strong now for something to weld to. And so got it centered up, and gonna get ready to weld here pretty soon. Okay, before I start welding, I've centered up the frame. I actually went from the outside of the main frame rails, measured to the end of this piece, and set that up center on both sides to the outside of the frame rail. So feel confident I have that in the center. Also check the offset here, and you have a 1/2 inch offset on the Chevrolet for the drive shaft to the right. So check that, and that's correct also. That's in the center also. So measure the frame rails, have that flat across the floor. Also took a level, had it leveled on both sides, leveled that side. And when I set this up originally, instead of measuring from the back wheel forward, which I thought was kind of funky to do it that way, I didn't think I could do a good job. I actually went to the front, the center line of the front axle, and came back, and then this car, the 66 Impala, has a 119-inch wheelbase. So I measured back minus the 26 inches for the 119 wheelbase, and that way I feel confident that both sides are equal. And also checked from the holes, from the frame holes back, made sure everything was correct and in good shape there. So we're level here also. Everything looks good, and going to see if we can weld this bad boy in. Okay, I got the chassis works frame welded in. It didn't come out too bad, considering what you're dealing with on these old cars. Probably better welders out there than me, but it'll hold. It's strong. I got enough in there to hold everything. So had a little problem here. Had to cut this mount here and bend the one side in. I got to bend that back out, and I'll weld that back together so I could get at the corner here to weld. Otherwise there was no way I could get in there and get a decent weld. So got that set. Now I'm going to cut a couple of pieces, 1/4 by 1 by probably 6. Going to weld them in here just to give it a little bit more support there. And you got room here because your body mount comes on top of here, so it's not a big deal. And I'll put one on each side on the top and one on each side on the bottom. So going to cut 4 pieces, kind of grind this off a little bit here, smooth it up, clamp it down, and weld that in. Then afterwards, I think I'm also going to put a gusset in here. I'll cut a piece of tubing, go across here, and gusset this. Probably overkill, but hey, never can have too much support, I guess. Especially, I'm not sure if I'm going to run a cage in this car or not. If I was going to run a cage, it wouldn't be a big deal at all, but without it, I might need some little more support. So we're going to do that. Okay, I got just about done here. So put the straps on. You can see what I'm talking about there. Put one on the top, one on the bottom each side. This kind of gives it a little bit more support. You see that sometimes on motorhomes where they weld the frame up, they put those in there, and it actually gives you quite a bit of extra support. So it's coming along good. Kind of a little mock-up of the tires I'm going to be running on. Be able to get them under there now. And these here are some Mickey Thompsons. They're 18.5s, which are about 14 inches wide. And could actually put can probably put an 18-inch wide tire under here with this setup now. Well, that's about it. Got the frame rails in. Did it all by myself. And by myself, I mean all by myself. No one has helped me at all with this project. Just figured out a way to lift things and cut things and do. Did it all with basically a Sawzall, angle grinder with probably used up 4 or 5 rubber wheels and grinder. I do have an air compressor, so I had an air grinder, clean things up, and actually kind of fit the frame rails in a little bit that way with that too. It was a little easier. And got 9-inch housing, that'll go in next. Got a 4-link setup. Was going to do that myself, but looked it up at online, and Mosier's in Indiana will cut that 9-inch housing for me.